I'm Nancy Showalter, and you're listening to Spirituality for the Politically Incorrect podcast. Welcome, all radical paradigm shifters and creative change makers. You who dare to create a better life and a better world. Tap into the power that resides within you and use that power for constructive change. Hello and welcome to today's episode where we are exploring a practice that's been used by both mystics and Olympic athletes alike. For sure, it's a practice your higher self already understands, even if your outer mind has forgotten. I'm talking about the power of visualization. So, what is visualization and why does it matter? Well, it's more than just daydreaming. Yes, it uses the power of your imagination, but it combines with your conscious creation of mental images for the purpose of linking your inner desires to your outer reality. It's intentional, it's focused, and when done correctly, it can literally rewire your brain and reshape your life. Saint Germain, in his book Saint Germain on Alchemy, said, "All that the mind of man can conceive and believe, the mind of man can achieve through the God flame within." The God flame is the divine spark in your heart that gives you life, literally. And notice he said, conceive and believe. Doubt alone can sabotage the outcome. Visualization is how we bring that God flame into focus. It's the spiritual sketch pad, you might say, for the life that you want to manifest. When you visualize clearly, whether it's a healthy body, a thriving relationship, you want your business to be successful, or you want a deeper spiritual connection, you begin to tune into that possibility. You raise your frequency to meet it. You don't just think about it, you feel it. And that's where the magic happens. Neuroscience now tells us that the brain doesn't know the difference between something vividly imagined and something that is actually experienced. When you visualize yourself succeeding, say you want to give a public talk or you want to run a marathon, your brain activates the same neurochemical sequences it would if you were doing it in real life. You trigger your motor cortex, your planning centers, your emotional response systems, all from within. They say that this process helps build new neural pathways and rewires your beliefs. You literally create a, quote, new normal in your nervous system. Visualization also activates your reticular activating system. And what is that, you might ask? Well, think of it like a filter in your brain that starts scanning the world for opportunities that match what you are visualizing and focusing on. Think the law of attraction meets neuroplasticity. Okay, enough of the science. Let's bring this down to earth with a real-world example. Michael Phelps, the Olympic swimmer, you may be familiar with him. He's very famous. He is a master of visualization. His coach revealed that for years before major races, Phelps would mentally rehearse every detail of his performance, from the strokes, the turns, he'd hear the crowd noise, even the water getting in his goggles. And during the 2008 Olympics, something extraordinary did happen. In one of his races, his goggles did fill with water. But Phelps didn't panic. He had already, quote, swum that race blind in his mind so many times, he executed it flawlessly by memory. He won gold. Why? Because visualization was his training. The inner image shaped the outer reality. And many other athletes have said the same thing about rehearsing in their minds before a game or a competition. Remember how, as children, we could imagine anything? A cardboard box became a spaceship. A blanket was a cape. That was our divine creative power at work before it got filtered by fear, logic, and, quote, reality. Visualization brings that divine play back into your life. It reconnects you to your spiritual innocence and your creative authority. Saint Germain also taught that visualization isn't just wishful thinking. It's a command to the ethers. When combined with emotion, it creates form. So don't just think it, feel it, see it, be it. You step into that reality, seeing and experiencing the outcome. So if you have never consciously visualized something you wanted to create, accomplish, or draw to you, here are some pointers to begin. Pick one goal, just one. Be specific. Specificity is very important. Let's say, I want to confidently deliver my next presentation. Then close your eyes and imagine yourself walking up, breathing calmly, smiling, and delivering your talk smoothly. In fact, deliver that talk in your mind. Then add feeling. Feel the joy, the confidence, the energy of your audience. Feel and hear them laughing when you say something funny or amusing, and see them intently listening to your every word. Repeat this daily. Let it become so real in your mind that your body starts believing it's already happened. And very importantly, let go of how. Stay open to the divine orchestration of events that will align with your vision. This is your creation. Visualization is a spiritual art as well as a neurological science. It's how we speak to our subconscious, and it's how we co-create with God. Saint Germain reminds us, the flame of God never fails, and all that is imagined through the sacred mind of God and claimed in righteousness must come to pass. So, if you're ready to step into your next chapter, don't just work harder. As they say, work smarter. See it, feel it, live it before it even happens. Because once your soul sees it, it's only a matter of time before your world does too. Thank you for tuning in today. If this episode sparked something in you, share it with a friend. And remember, your imagination is not just fantasy. It's the blueprint of your destiny. Until next time, stay awake, stay wise, and never stop creating from the God flame within. Thank you for being with me today, and if you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe, download, and comment. I'd love to hear from you, and your support is much appreciated. And don't forget to go to theawakeningnow.com for free bonuses and information on my new book, You Were Born to Be a Christ, but You Were Taught You Are a Sinner. Awaken to who you really are. See you next week.